G'day folks, Mod Father reporting in. I've done a little job to the car and I'd like to talk about it. I've had fumes in the cab. Not real bad, but I can smell it, so I've addressed it. Well, I'm hoping to fix it. And it's all about health, guys. We don't want to be breathing in fumes from our race cars. Nothing worse. I've heard some nasty stories of race car drivers becoming overcome with fuel smells and whatnot, and it makes you quite ill. So you've got to look after yourself, guys. We put all this time and energy and money into it. We really want to improve on the conditions inside the car where we're driving them. Well, what I've gone and done, guys, is rerouted my breather box vent. Originally, I used to run the 4 lines, or the 4 hoses would run down and just sort of dump just down at the bottom of the fender well. Obviously would contaminate the engine bay and make its way through into the cab. See, what's happening is, guys, it's going through the hole in the bonnet and then escaping that and getting pushed down into this vent, because this is sort of a high pressure zone. And we're getting sort of fumes run into the cab of the car. So what I've gone and done is I've routed the fumes down in underneath, and we're going to dump them out under the car. That's stage 1 of my fix. Okay, guys? Now, my second stage of the fix is to block this hole. Now, the idea is, once that's blocked, we're going to force all the air that comes through the radiator down in under the car. So we're not going to try and stop the air from coming through from the engine bay and contaminating our front of the vent area. So we're not ingesting any fumes, and we at least get 99.9% of the fumes back in under the car out of harm's way. So been busy doing that, guys. It's I racked my brain there for bloody days trying to come up with a little solution, and I've used some 40mm plumber's PVC pipe, and I think it looks really good. I'm going to paint it black and tidy it up. And you've got to remember too, guys, we're actually going to get a bit of a Venturi effect once the air runs in under the car too, so from out of the breather. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, guys. I think it's going to work really well. Once I block off the hole in the bonnet, and I'm going to put my rubber seal back along here as well. So this is just a clip to hold the rubber down. So we've got a nice seal, and then the vent will be ingesting fresh air and not contaminated engine bay. Because what happens is too, guys, when I get off the gas under boost, blow-off valve opens up, and I can actually smell the water methanol. I can smell the meth when I get off the gas, so I want to try and eliminate that and make it a little bit more pleasant inside the car. All right, folks. Well, I want to actually just make a mention while I'm got the video going. What ignition system I'm using. I've had a couple of questions asked, and I'll just do a little quick talk about it. It's an MSD programmable 6AL2. Brilliant thing. it's a tunable ignition system. So what I mean by that, guys, is I've got it up here on my laptop. I can plug this laptop into the box, and now I can plot my own timing curve. I've got the distributor locked out at 30 degrees advance, and what this has done, it enables me to pull timing out of the ignition system now. So I've got a baseline of, what do we got? About, I think it's about 13, 14 degrees on startup. As soon as it starts up, we go out to 20 degrees because we've pulled 10 degrees out of our 30 degree locked out dizzy. So we're idling at around 20 degrees and it loves it. As soon as we step into it over 1,000 revs, it starts ramping timing in. So it'll ramp out to 30 degrees just before 3,000 revs. That's when the turbo really starts to spool and we start pulling timing. And by 3,000 revs, we're back down to, because I'm on 7 pounds of boost at the minute, I've got 24 degrees of total timing, and that's right out to a red line. It's a fantastic setup, the MSD 6AL2 programmable. It's a really awesome little setup. Now I'll show you here too, guys, before I go. Blow this up. It's got a rev. It's got rev limit in it too, capabilities. So I have a rev limit of 6.3. It's got a, oh geez, it's unbelievable, this thing. You can do a rev launch, use the features on it. It's got retards in it. It's got a step 1. But I'm only using the basic setup at the minute, which is the rev limit. So that's more for the drag racer. But it's an awesome bit of gear. I'm only sort of learning on it still, but yeah, I love it. All right, guys. Well, I just thought I'd share you that because it's quite interesting. The MSD programmable. So if I was going up to say 14 pound of boost, what I'd do, I'd bring that down, back down to sort of 20 degrees and flatline back out at 20 degrees. So it's awesome. And the next stage of what I'm going to do with this box is you can set up a boost control. So as boost ramps, you can plot a chart here to tell it how much timing I want pulled out versus per pound of boost. So that's the next sort of step for me with this feature. But for now, I'm just using the basic, well, what would you call it, retard curve, timing retard curve, and that's how I sort of run with it. And it's awesome, it really is. All right, folks, well, I'll leave it there at that, and I'll show you that when it's all done and painted up, that little vent tube. And my next little plan, I want to add a little extra bit around the bottom of the splitter, and I'll show you what I'm going to do there, guys, on that one. So I'll pop one up soon. I'll catch you later.